Nobody supercharges more HEMIs than ProCharger, but it doesn't stop there with Dodges. It starts with V6s, 5.7 HEMI, 6.4 liter HEMI, including shaker, and the world's fastest Gen 3 HEMI on the planet. Now, ProCharger didn't become the leader by accident. It took engineering, a fleet of cars, and a whole lot of testing. That way you guys bolt on the best product possible with huge power gains. How much? We're talking 215 horsepower for that 6.4, 160 horsepower for the 5.7, and even 120 horsepower can be bolted on to that V6 behind me. Let's dive in a little closer. Earlier, I used the term bolt on. But what does that actually mean? That means that ProCharger engineers went out of their way to make sure that these supercharger systems were 100% complete and can be bolted onto the car without any other modifications. That means you don't have to do exhaust, you don't have to get into the engine, you don't have to do pistons, camshafts, nothing. You simply take what's in the box, you read the full color instructions, and you start bolting it on. It makes for a great project on the weekend in the garage with your friends or family. However, if you don't want to do the installation yourself, there is a large ProCharger dealer network all across the United States and the world. When ProCharger talks about power gains, they're talking about the numbers you should expect to make running premium pump gas and no other modifications to the car. Now, if you want to run E85 or race gas and make more horsepower, don't worry. ProCharger has kits for you too. Bigger head units, bigger intercoolers, etc. But what we're talking about today are the stock systems. The way that these systems make those big gains, and they do it safe, is because they combine a highly efficient supercharger, centrifugal style, with a front-mounted air-to-air intercooler. You can see it on both of these cars. These intercoolers cool down that compressed air charge so that it's the same temperature about as the outside air, and then force it into the engine, hence the term forced induction. And yeah, while I'm sitting here and there's this big hole in the hood behind me, shaker guys, ProCharger has systems for you too, so don't worry. ProCharger engineers were the first to develop a supercharger system that works with the 6.4, 6.1, and 5.7, rocking these awesome shaker hoods. One of the things we always get asked is, how does it drive? Well, they drive like stock. They start like stock, all of the things that you would expect, except for they do this. Now, all of that excitement and horsepower that's slamming you back in the seat comes courtesy of just 7 pounds of boost. Right, no matter if it's a V6 or a 5.7 or 6.4 or even a Ram or a Jeep, it's just 7 pounds of boost that we're putting into these motors. And it's also safe to be used on pump gas because we provide you with an ECM calibration that's set up for it. And for those that live in emission states and are concerned about streetability, the V8 systems are also emissions legal. Yes, they're 50 state compliant. Now that we got done having a lot of fun driving the V8 cars, we're gonna jump on over to the V6 and answer the question, why supercharge a V6? And my answer is, why not? Let's think about it like this. 70s and 80s muscle cars with V8s struggled to make 200 horsepower. I know, I had one. Actually, I still have one. This V6 makes 305 horsepower out of the gate. You bolt on like 120 horsepower, you're talking way over 400 horsepower at the crank. That's freaking awesome out of American V6. Speaking of America, to ensure the highest quality finishes and the longest durability possible, from raw material to finished product, everything is done here in-house. Quality doesn't just stop at engineering and manufacturing, it also comes down to the shipping department to make sure that all of these systems have every single nut, bolt, and screw needed to do the installation before it ever leaves this door. Now, I know we threw a lot at you, especially about all these different challengers, but guess what? There's more, because ProCharger makes supercharger systems for Jeeps, Rams, Grand Cherokees, Chargers, and more. If you want more information on them, visit us at procharger.com and we'll see you in the next one.